Scott back with you from Stooks Baseball Cards and Curiosities. Today I'm doing a VR for Dan at Old Sarge Collects. He wants us to share some cards, items from our two favorite teams, and discuss why we like these two favorite teams. I've added a couple players into my video also. As you can see, I've got baseball on the left, Willie Horton on the sweet spot, and Denny McLain up above with his 31 and 6 1968 trademark. Last 30 game winner in baseball for pitcher. And the one on the right is Tony Oliva from spring training. Another great guy that I've met, and I got that autograph in person. And on pinbacks below, the one top left is Denny McLain and Hammond benches. He was, of course, a Hammond organ player. There's Roger Maris. That was a gift from Iconic Al at the 2023 National. And then the one below is Ken Hunt. I got that one from the basement collection, Mike Moynihan at the Dallas Card Show. And of course the one on the right is a 6-inch Minnesota Twins American League champion pinback from 1965. And we can start with Roger Maris. Of course, I'm a fan of his because he's basically grew up in North Dakota. He's born in Minnesota. Family moved to Grand Forks for a few years and then to Fargo, where he started to become famous with his high school playing days. I think he was the first person to have 4 returns for a touchdown in a high school football game. I think two kicks, a punt, and then 1 interception return. And he went on to hit 61 home runs in the 61 season. Ken Hunt, he's another North Dakota native, Grand Forks, North Dakota. He played a little ball against Roger growing up. That's why I have Ken Hunt there. We'll get to the main focus of the VR. It's the two favorite teams and why. 1967 was the first year I bought baseball cards. And one of the first cards I got was a 1967 Al Kaline. I almost instantly became an Al Kaline fan. Of course, Harmon Killebrew wasn't available in my area. The series that he was in never made it to my hometown. Mickey Mantle was in there. Mickey Mantle, a lot of us got Mickey Mantles, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron's. But Harmon Killebrew was in, I think it's like the 4th or 5th series, and we didn't get that series. Later on in that summer, I was able to buy some 5th series cards in Twin Cities. I remember getting a Roberto Clemente. And the Twins weren't home when I was in the Twin Cities, so I didn't get to go see them. But as the pennant wound down, there was 4 teams in the race for the World Series: White Sox, Red Sox, Twins, and Tigers. While going into the last weekend, the Twins needed to win 1 game against the Red Sox to get in the World Series. The Red Sox swept them with some amazing play by Carl Yastrzemski. The Tigers had to win a game to force a playoff, and of course they lost a game. But 1968 came along. Denny McLain had his great 68 season, 31 wins, 280 strikeouts. Just amazing. And the guy in the National League, Bob Gibson, was having a pretty good season that year too, as was Don Drysdale, who pitched 6 consecutive shutouts in 1968. So Detroit was my team, and they won the World Series in 68. I followed them, growing up, adulthood and everything. Some of my favorite players are like Bill Freehan, great catcher, all-star catcher. There's Yankee Stadium in the background, the facade. You know, Willie Horton. There's a 69 O-Pee-Chee decal edge. Denny McLean. Another 69 decal edge, blank back. And Al Kaline. Later on, you know, I enjoyed watching players like Miguel Cabrera, Justin Verlander. Been to Lakeland, Florida for a couple spring training games at Tigertown, Joker Marchant Stadium. Just a great place to go watch a game. The old style grandstands, not like the modern Twins Stadium in Fort Myers or the JetBlue Stadium the Red Sox play in. Just old-time baseball at its best. And then afterwards you can go to Plant City for a strawberry shortcake. But I've lived in Minnesota since 1991, so I listened to the Twins a lot on the radio. Met some of their former stars, current stars, whatever. So they're kind of like my second favorite team. You know, with greats like Harmon Killebrew. There's a 64 Wheaties. There's a 68 proof card, square corner from 68 game cards. See a few of these on eBay every now and then. 69 decals. Probably my biggest memory was 2009, game 163. Tigers and Twins were tied. And my daughters, their cousin and their uncle, we got tickets to the game. And got to see Miguel Cabrera hit a home run in the game. Another Harmon 71 tops. And Zuka Camilo Pascual. I bought two of these at the National. I gave one to Orlando at Collector's Dream. And the Twins won in extra innings. We were standing from the 6th inning on. Didn't want to miss any of the game, but you know, kind of mixed emotions there. But both teams were going to go to the playoffs, win or lose. And it was probably one of the best games I've ever been to. It was voted as the top regular season game ever in the Metrodome. Take that for what it's worth. Here's a Transagram side panel of Camilo Pascual. There's Jimmy Cott, Kitty Cat, Jim Cott. He was a great pitcher. And this one is, you know, Peachy. And here's a 75 Rod Carew. Like to emulate him as a little leaguer. He was a second baseman at the time. Later in his career, he moved to first base. And this is also an O-Pee-Chee, printed in Canada. 76 Tony Oliva, toward the end of his career. Saw him at Twins Fest one time. He was limping up toward the elevator, so I held the door for him, and you know, he thanked me, and everybody in the elevator is just laughing and smiling as Tony's in there making remarks and stuff. Kent Herbeck, that's a square paper proof of the 84 Fun Foods button. And of course, the guy that made the 87-91 Twins go, you know, get on my back, I'll carry you to the championship. And that's him right there. If you look at his stats and compare him with Mike Trout, you'll see they're pretty close. The only big difference, glaring difference, is walks and home runs. But Kirby still leads them by hits, even though Trout's played one more year. I think Kirby's probably several hundred home runs ahead of him. And a higher average. I mean, not saying that Trout was bad. Trout was good, but Kirby was right up there in a lot of stats with Trout. And I'd like to thank Dan for having this VR, and congratulations on 300 subs, and wish you another 1,000 great videos and 1,000 more subs, and just keep putting out the good videos, Dan. It's great to watch you and watch you grow in the community. And thanks again, everybody. Thank you for watching, and carry on.